So now we are on part 8. And this is going to be all about not being able to express my emotions. So, I talked about this briefly in other videos, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth and give a little bit of some backstories and maybe a couple of situations where I experienced this. So again, my father again was very strict. He had a very short temper. And he really does have like a paranoid kind of nature. And there were so many different times though. If any of us were to cry, we would get screamed at. We were not allowed to cry. He would literally scream to shut up on the top of his lungs. He would literally scream, shut up, stop crying, all of these things. And I remember it when I was young, what I'm saying? And my mom, again, is like Cancer, and she was very like soft and again, very submissive as well to my father. Like she wouldn't even, step to those boundaries and really try to step in sometimes. I mean, there were some times like later on in the relationship and when we were growing up where she would finally like step in and like say something or, make something stop, because sometimes my dad, like I said, it was almost like something would switch and he would become somebody else. I can't even explain to this. He would literally become somebody else, okay? And you didn't know how that being was going to react, and that's how I'm gonna have to say it. Like, that's the truth. And it's just so interesting that this is random, but I was doing a energy healing with another woman, and she literally picked up on that. Mind you, I never tell anyone anything. I never even told anybody. This is the first time I'm telling you all these type of things. The woman literally picked up. She was like, yeah, and your father has this type of energy where he's extremely paranoid and has multiple personalities, and it's like, yeah, his vessel is being used by multiple beings. And I'm like, I knew it. I noticed that when I was a kid. I would see the eyes change. I would feel the energy shift, and it would fucking scare me. This is why I had so much fucking anxiety and other things, okay? But yeah, so yeah, we were not allowed to express our emotions because I'd be too afraid to express my emotions, and this is why I stopped crying. And I'm gonna tell you all the truth, I'm extremely sensitive and I have a lot of water energy. My rising sign is Pisces, and apparently the Pisces can be a crybaby. And then I'm a Cancer moon at 0 degrees at the most purest energy, so I feel things intensely. Okay, I feel things deeply. So with that blend, being extremely sensitive, being extremely self-aware, having to intentionally walk on eggshells, paying attention to what I would say, what I would do, I had to pay attention to everything. That's why I'm so self-aware. That's why even till this day I'm like, where do I put my hands? What's going on with my hands? Because again, I had to make sure that my hands would not hit anything over, because if I hit something over or knock something over, my dad would turn around and I didn't know what was gonna happen next, okay? So that happened, okay? And then also, when it came to experiencing and expressing energies of joy or excitement, those would get shut down so fucking quick. Because it was almost like, I get it now, that my dad wasn't really able to experience a childhood and have fun and play. He had to grow up fast. He had to be out there working at a very young age. I get it now. But then again, as a kid and being sensitive, I just couldn't get it. I'm like, why is he always angry? Why can't we be happy? Why can't, when things would happen, mind you, I was a very lucky child. I still am to this day. I would win a lot of, what are those things? I would win a lot of raffles. I'd write my name, put my name into things. I'd get called for things. All the time, things like that would happen. People would give me things. But again, for some reason, my dad, would not want us to be too happy. I remember there would be times where my parents would they would tell us something that we would all get so excited about. And then they would literally, in that same moment, we would literally be shouting and yay! And then my dad would turn around stop! And then he would literally be like, don't get too excited because you don't know if it's you never know if it's gonna work out. You don't know what's going to happen. Things could change. you know? So it was almost like we were programmed to kind of expect that things could literally shift at any moment. And I guess now I can see that as a good thing now because, you know, I could expect good things now. But at the time as a kid, it was like I was on edge, like expecting, like, fuck, if I'm too excited, things are gonna, you know, fall away. Things are gonna be taken away. Things are gonna not work out. So I literally imprinted that in my subconscious mind and in my nervous system that I couldn't get too excited. And mind you, I'm a Leo sun, and apparently, like, I've always been very expressive and very like, ooh, and you can kind of see things in my face and kind of read that energy, and I kind of, you know, you can kind of feel my energy with my presence. But again, I had to suppress that. I was not able to be too much. You're being too much. You're doing too much. You're talking too much. You're asking too many questions. Those are the type of things I would consistently hear all the time. So that was imprinted in my belief systems, and, you know, I just grew up with those type of beliefs because, again, I heard those all the time. And through repetition and consistency, this is how beliefs and habits and behaviors are formed. So those were imprinted. So I was moving and operating life through these type of beliefs, like I can't get too excited. And then I started realizing, like, damn, when I and I'm still working on it till this day, okay, that I noticed in, like, even like I noticed in my late 20s, and I'm like, I'm not really getting excited about things that I see other people getting really excited about, you know? And that's where it came from. It's like, I remember that I wasn't allowed to get too excited or something bad would happen. I was always having to brace myself to expect, like, something could be taken away. Something could just be ripped out of our lives at any moment. And I'll talk about that in the next video. But this is going to be part 8 of my childhood storytime series. If anything resonated or if something, you know, sparked something within you, be sure to comment it below. Also, give this video a like and comment part 9 if you're ready for part 9.